Hello everyone, my name is Matthew Dark, and this is my competitive app analysis screencast for MUX 1405. I'll go ahead and start off with my heuristics evaluation sheet. On this side, I chose an app that's closely relative to mine. I chose two apps that are closely relative to mine. Mill Guru was the first one. I'll go ahead and go over the Mill Guru. The visibility of the app status. This app kept users informed about what's going on by giving feedback. An example, the tab bar had selections for different screens, like recipes, and when on that screen, there's feedback by highlighting the icon at the bottom, um, and lets the users know that they're on that specific screen. And also, there's a step-by-step video guide in the introduction which guides the users through the app. Match between app and the real world. The user's environment is the kitchen because it's a recipe app, and it seemed hard to see and read the ingredients, especially on a smaller device like an iPhone, although the instructions were much larger and fairly clear and legible. User control and freedom. The emergency exit that this app had was the tab bar at the bottom to navigate the different screens, and also on various screens it had back buttons. Error prevention at the top of the preparation screen. There was 4 timers which didn't have titles or confirmations for what each timer was for, and for me that caused some confusion, and I can see how it can create some errors. And also, when on the recipe screen, there's 2 options: favorites and not for me. And I hit the not for me button, and there was no confirmation before all the recipes were deleted from my screen, and that caused me some confusion, and that points out a pain point in that app. Consistency and standards. The app is consistent. Everything means what it means and is fairly clear. Recognition rather than recall. Minimizes the user's memory load by making objects, actions, and options visible. Objects, actions, and options are visible and reduces the user's memory load, and that app was pretty good in that area. Flexibility and efficiency of use. The number of steps required was minimal. When selecting a recipe, it pops up the menu Monday through Sunday and allows the user to select which day to set that recipe to, and it automatically creates a shopping list from the select recipe, which is efficient to me. The aesthetics and minimalist design. This app was aimed more towards health conscious people. On the recipe screen, the app does not, or it does have quite a bit of information. For example, calories, fat, nutritional information. However, the design is very nice, which allows users to select menu buttons to find out information while directing their attention to it and not taking up the whole screen at the same time. It helped if the user mistakenly adds a recipe to the menu. It's a little confusing, and it's hard to delete if the user changes their mind. This was for the help users recognize, diagnose, and recover from errors. Help and documentation. This app has an in-depth introduction user guide video, which is fairly long. It could be a pain point with a slightly steep learning curve, especially for not too advanced users. There's also information button at the top, which has a user guide that is focused on the user's tasks and lists the steps needed to take for each subject. And we'll go ahead and go over the other app, Chinese food recipes, for the visibility and app status. This app keeps users informed about what's going on and guides users through the process of creating a new menu. A match between app and the real world. This app matches the real world environment, which would be in the kitchen, and allows users the legibility of the instructions and ingredients was pretty well. User control and freedom. It's pretty easy to navigate through the app with plenty of emergency exits. This app did a pretty good job at warning users about possible mistakes during menu creation. If the field was empty, it would say no menu created, etc., etc. If the user accidentally pressed the arrow, the user would have to start all over. That's one of the bad things about it. There was a back arrow and an OK button, so when creating a menu, if you accidentally press the arrow, so it would cause you to have to start all over with creating a menu, which was a pain point. Consistency and standards. As mentioned above, there are two actions which the users may confuse to mean the same thing. Recognition rather than recall. All objects and actions and options are visible. Flexibility and efficiency of use. This app has very few steps, enables customization. They can create their own custom menu. The minimalist design with the aesthetics, very minimal. It's not cluttered with information. Helps user recognize, diagnose, and recover from errors. The error messages are consistent through the app. Help and documentation. The only help besides the error messages would be the note tab on the recipe screen. It had more information on prep times, cook times, and time to make. So I'll go ahead and go over my article that I'm going to reference real quick here. And this shows how app marketing affects the user experience. In this article, there was a little note here for Martha Stewart's Smoothie app for iPad and iPhone. And this is an example of the upsell technique they talk about, where the publisher basically identifies categories of the users or the readers of that magazine and what they're interested in by doing research on the user behavior, and then build an app according to that marketing technique, which pretty much gives the users exactly what they would want. So that's how that affects the user experience, and this is the name of my article, Experimenting in the Lab and the App Lab. So I think that's pretty much it for my screencast. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.